the things he says matters. But what he's really doing is destroying everything he's built. And that's the super frustrating thing as a shareholder. And just as an investor, one has to look out at the long-term future of Tesla and say, if the CEO is willing to do all this stuff and nobody can stop him, founder, whatever you want to call him, well, what's going to happen to Tesla over the next 10 years? Are they going to achieve their mission if the CEO isn't actually the CEO? Because he's certainly not acting as the CEO of Tesla.
Yeah, look, the idea that he is actually the CEO of all of these companies is just ridiculous. He cannot spend his day replying to rando anti-Semites on Twitter and then have us believe that he's also designing rockets, which of course he was never doing, but he's just a figurehead, that's all. And at one point, back before we knew much about his politics, maybe that was a benefit. He's able to draw attention, he can raise money and all that. But at some point, if you're doing nothing substantive for the company and all you are is a figurehead and you're awful and people hate you, then why should you continue as a figurehead? Like I personally, I'm not in charge of a company or whatever, but like I have to imagine that he is substantially hurting Tesla. I would not buy a Tesla now. But if they were to get rid of him and deal with some of their production issues and everything, I might consider it. And I also think, like, imagine, why isn't someone swooping in to try to buy Twitter right now? It's worth way less than it was, but it would definitely be worth more instantly if he was no longer in charge. Think about if someone took over, even someone awful, like someone that people don't like, and it was no longer Elon Musk. Think about how much your evaluation of Twitter would instantly improve and how much you'd want to use it by comparison.
So who are you though in this? So let me give you some statistics. The overall traffic on Twitter is down somewhere between 15 and 20%. I think 15%. It's down at all the places. It's down the most in the USA. And the valuation of Twitter, as many people have reported, has gone from $49 billion when he bought it to his own quantification when he had to value it at $19 billion, saying that he lost $30 billion off. The only tangible statistic that has risen with Elon Musk under in charge of it, besides hate speech, is the overall traffic to Elon Musk's own tweets, which is up 100%. So with all of this, it proves that it's just his toy. He just bought it to be a toy. Everything else is immaterial. Generally, when it comes to valuing internet companies, it's so wishy-washy anyway that I do think a lot of this is just the bad PR around it. But when you're talking about some of the decisions you have to make when you run an internet company is like, who do I want my user base to be? And some companies like Facebook say, I want my user, and Google, I want my user base to be everybody. Elon Musk is saying he wants his user base to be everybody, but the only user base he actually wants is people who like him. And so you can get value out of that when it's all one type of user, because you tell all the advertisers, if you want to reach that one type of user, come on over here. Also, we prove that those users, the super users, the value users, are the ones who are stupid enough to give me $8 a month so they can get a blue check mark. So occasionally I can go in there and like fan the flames of their anti-Semitic tweet nonsense. Yeah, that's my take on Elon Musk running Twitter.
I mean, yeah, the question is, like, it is clear that he is personally using it as a toy. The follow-up question to be, since he did not buy it with just his own money, why are all of the other people involved in this cool with that?
What else are they going to do?
There's also the theory that he bought it to ruin it, effectively, that it was a tool that could be used by non-fascists to effectuate social and political change, and they don't want that, so they bought it to ruin it. I think it's a pretty good theory. But anyway, okay, I just briefly want to mention this before we close this out. A lot of people have noticed that there are ads, like some corporations have started advertising once again, despite what a hellhole it's become. IBM has paused advertising, not ended, bear in mind, after a report that Twitter's ads, the ads for that company were being placed next to anti-Semitic comments. You can see right here an example of it. Media Matters had done a report about a number of companies that are continuing to advertise. And of course, Media Matters both publicizes awful comments and puts pressure on advertisers to try to get them to do something about it. In response to this, Elon Musk replied, "Media Matters is an evil organization." You're the dude agreeing with anti-Semites and people talking about replacement theory. Like, They just publicize what you say. You know who else publicizes what you say? You, because you tweeted it. Like, if you didn't want to stand by it, if you didn't want corporations to make decisions based on what you were saying, don't say it, okay? Be responsible. You're a big boy, or at least you should be at this point. So he hates Media Matters. They always lash out when Media Matters just lets people know the terrible things that they've said. Okay, quick final point, Brett.
Yeah, with all the douchebags and horrible people saying douchebaggy and horrible things on X, instead of changing it from Twitter to X, he might as well have started calling it Elon's Mojo Dojo Casa House.
I would have found that slightly more endearing. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.